Connecting you to the leaders in our community. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hello, I'm Robin Wolfram. The Minnesota Organization on Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention and Parenting, or MOAPPP, is Minnesota's only statewide resource for promoting sexual health for teens. The organization is working to assure positive life outcomes for teens all across the state of Minnesota. And here with more is Brigid Riley of MOAPPP. Brigid, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
So let's talk a little bit about MOAPPP and what services you provide.
Well, we really try to be the one-stop shop for professionals in the field, for parents, for media if they need it, for information about these very important issues. We are the resource and the advocacy arm for all the people working in this field, and we provide all kinds of trainings throughout the year, as well as a lot of fact sheets and great information.
When we talk about teen sexual health, we're actually talking about a broad spectrum of issues. Let's talk about some of those.
Right. Certainly teen pregnancy prevention is in our name, and that was what we were founded around. But sexually transmitted infections, HIV, young parents, all of those are issues that MOAPPP works on as well.
How big of an issue are they here in the state of Minnesota? I think we kind of consider ourselves, you know, the Midwestern, you know, good lifestyle, good upbringing, but it's an issue.
It's always an issue, and it crosses all kinds of lines. There's not just one group that gets pregnant or has an STI in Minnesota. Here in Minnesota, about 7,000 girls under the age of 20 get pregnant every year.
Wow.
And while that puts us about 10th best in the country, just a few years ago we were 4th best in the country. So we've really seen some changes in the last couple of years.
So those numbers are increasing. Why do you think that is? Because that message is always out there.
Right. It's a challenge to kind of pinpoint exactly what's going on, but we think, according to the best research, that the rates are going up primarily because young people aren't using condoms and contraception as consistently anymore.
Why do you think that is?
There's a lot of theory around that and different ideas. We certainly know that schools are under a lot of stress in terms of finances and may not have the opportunity to teach good quality sex ed. And we know that there's a lot of battlegrounds about ideas about what kinds of information young people should be receiving. We know that there may be cuts to enrichment programs, and so young people don't really see another path for themselves, like becoming a good football player, a good musician, or a good drama kid in the plays. There just aren't those same opportunities as there used to be.
Yeah. Now, as we talk about unprotected sex and an increase in pregnancy, we're also very conscientious of the fact that this could mean an increase in not only infections, but also HIV and AIDS.
That's right. And while there aren't a lot of cases of HIV in teenagers in Minnesota, we have seen a growing number of cases among young people in their early 20s, which means they were probably infected as teenagers. And in terms of sexually transmitted infections, you know, teenagers make up only about 7% of our population here, and yet they represent almost a third of the sexually transmitted infections in our state.
That is a staggering statistic.
Yeah, it's really
isn't it?
troubling, and I think people aren't aware of the immense problem that this is for young people.
Let's talk about the social media, because there's Twitter, Facebook, all kinds of resources and sources out there for teens and young adults. Do you think that that's having an impact, not only on maybe the increase in rates, but also the information that they're able to access?
Right. Well, you know, with the advent of the World Wide Web, there is so much information. There are literally millions of opportunities for young people to get information. Unfortunately, it's not all good. And so it's really incumbent on parents and the adults in young people's lives to be paying attention to what kind of information they're getting, to take opportunities to talk to them, and really be clear with them about setting some boundaries around their use of media. I don't think media is causing any of the uptick, but we know that there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Right. So what is your advice to parents? Because that message has been out there. It's almost as if it's falling on deaf ears with kids and parents. What's that new resurgence of energy we can?
Yeah, you know, I think make sure that you take those opportunities to talk to your young people. It's really critical. We worry about giving them too much information too soon, but we should be worried about too little information too late.
They're years ahead in school because, again, their peers are a huge influence and resource for them as well.
That's right.
Brigid, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all the work that you do for the young teens across the state of Minnesota. Well, you can find more information and important resources on teen sexual health by visiting MOAPPP.org, and you can also find MOAPPP and Facebook. That's it for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robin Wolfram. Thanks for watching.